Hey everybody, I am the Mighty Plantain, and tonight we're taking another look at another beer from Ballast Point Brewing Company. This is Victory at Sea. I'm actually kind of liking the nautical theme that they pull off with most of their brew names. And this is actually a porter with coffee and vanilla. If you look down further on the label though, it says it's an Imperial Porter, and on the side here it comes in at 10% alcohol by volume, so an Imperial to be sure. Big fan of porters. I like the high ABV stuff, so let's see exactly how this pans out. While I'm getting this set up and pouring it out, hit me up down below there with a like and a share. Click on that little subscribe button, you'll get a notification every time I post a new video. Hopefully you're enjoying them, getting some helpful tips out of them, and some good information about what might be in your local beer cooler. Hope you make some good decisions there and find some beers you'll like. As I pour this out, I notice one thing that's the mark of a very nice dark beer. A couple little drops of the beer kind of dance on the head. One was still going there. You only know what I'm talking about if you've seen it before, but as you're pouring it out, a couple little drops of that beer will kind of sit on the top of the beer, resting on that surface tension. It's similar to the surface tension you see with water, but a lot thicker, and they'll just kind of dance around in a circle before it just ultimately becomes a part of that brew in your glass. Keep an eye out for it the next time you pour a nice stout or any other porter, dark ale, or even some browns. Some of the heavier browns will do the same thing. Alright, so enough about that. That's kind of an aside, but it is a very interesting and neat tidbit, and one I particularly enjoy. This is a very dark beer. I mean, it's an Imperial Porter, so you got to expect some darkness, but I mean, this is black as midnight. You're not looking through that at all, and the way the light hits it, even in the thinner part of the glass, I can't see any sort of translucency in that at all. There is no light coming through that beer, which is a good sign. I like a nice dark beer. There's very little head on it. I get a bad habit of not pouring a beer with a very good head, but this is still not fizzing up. It's not effervescing. There's nothing bubbling up from the bottom of this glass at this point in time. This means this is going to be a very thick, very heavy beer. Strong coffee smell coming off of it. A little bit of hoppy bitterness, nothing particularly coming through, just maybe an overall bitterness, but that strong coffee smell hitting you up front. Maybe a tiny bit of chocolatey sweetness behind that that coffee smell, but just coffee and mocha. That is all coffee in the taste. Right up front, all coffee. A slight amount of that chocolatey sweetness coming through in the aftertaste as it rolls off your tongue. And again, just some general hoppy bitterness. Not nailing down a particular flavor of hops, no citrus, no piney notes, no floral notes, nothing like that, just hoppy bitterness in general. But yeah, that coffee taste and smell is overwhelming. As somebody who's not a big fan of coffee, but is a huge fan of coffee ice cream, so coffee with a lot of sweetness added apparently. I'm hitting this with a 4 out of 5. I'm just loving the fact that it's got that coffee flavor, that slightly sweet coffee flavor. Like I said, it's kind of like a pint of coffee ice cream, and it's a very thick, dark, heavy beer. Comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. Very, very drinkable for an Imperial Porter. So that's putting it at a 4 out of 5 for me. It's not quite blowing me away with any kind of unique taste sensations or flavors. Just some really strong, solid qualities that make it a great beer, but not mind-blowing. But an excellent, excellent beer. You should definitely check this out from Ballast Point. I'm starting to think this might be another one of my favorite breweries between this and the Habanero Sculpin that I've tried before. I gotta get a handful more of their beers because I know they've got plenty out there, and so far a couple of winners, 2 for 2. Good deal, guys. Anyway, check this beer out for yourself. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments or the email link down below. Love to debate it with you and find out if you agree or disagree. Either way, because not every beer is for everybody. Until next time, folks. Cheers. A little while back, we did a bit of a comparison with the Not Your Father's Hard Root Beer review.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for the beer, man. So, highly recommended by you. The Extreme Beer Fest this weekend. We'll be able to get a hold of, I believe it's the American